Welcome to US Coins Hub, where history meets hidden value. Today, we uncover a rare piece of American heritage, a coin that tells a story, holds mystery, and could be worth far more than its face value. So slow down, listen closely, and step into the timeless world of rare and valuable US coins. Let's dive into today's video. Top 1. Today's story takes us to the very beginning of the United States State Quarters Program, a moment that changed modern coin collecting forever. This is the tale of the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter Dollar, a coin that millions have seen, yet very few truly understand. When the U.S. Mint launched the State Quarters Program, excitement swept across the nation. For the first time, everyday pocket change would celebrate each state's identity, culture, and legacy. Connecticut earned the honor of being one of the first 5 states featured, placing this coin at the very foundation of a historic series that reignited public interest in coin collecting. That alone gives it a special place in numismatic history. The design of the Connecticut quarter is elegant and deeply symbolic. At its center stands the famous charter oak, a massive and ancient tree that represents freedom, independence, and resistance against tyranny. This tree is not just a symbol, it is a legend. According to history, Connecticut's colonial charter was hidden inside this very oak to protect it from being seized. When collectors look at this coin, they are not just seeing a tree, they are seeing a story of courage carved into metal that at first glance, the coin may seem ordinary. Millions were minted, and most circulated heavily in everyday commerce. But rarity is not always about low mintage numbers. True rarity often lies in the details. And this is where the 1999 Connecticut quarter becomes fascinating. Certain examples display striking mint errors that elevate them far above common coins. These errors transform an everyday quarter into a prized collectible point. One of the most sought-after varieties involves off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned, leaving blank space on one side of the coin. Others feature doubled die errors, where parts of the lettering or the charter oak itself appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Some coins show dramatic die cracks or cut errors, where raised metal appears from damaged dies, creating unique and unrepeatable patterns. There are also rare cases of wrong planchet errors, where the quarter was struck on metal intended for a different coin, resulting in unusual color, weight, and thickness. Condition plays an enormous role as well. High-grade examples with sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of circulation are incredibly difficult to find. Coins that were struck perfectly and preserved from the moment they left the mint are the ones collectors dream about. When these pristine specimens also carry rare errors, their desirability multiplies dramatically. Collectors love this coin not only because of its potential value, but because it represents the moment modern coin collecting came alive again. It was the coin that encouraged people to search their pockets, open rolls from banks, and pass down collections through generations. For many, it was the first coin that sparked a lifelong passion. If you are a coin lover, this is one of those pieces you listen carefully about, study closely, and never overlook. Somewhere out there, a rare Connecticut quarter sits quietly, unrecognized, waiting for the right set of eyes to understand its importance. It proves that even the most familiar coins can hold extraordinary stories and unexpected rewards. And now for the astonishing part that has collectors buzzing. A rare error example of the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter Dollar, in exceptional condition, has been valued at $93,000. Top 2. We are talking about a remarkable piece from the State Quarters era, the United States of America New York State Quarter Dollar, released in 2001. When the State Quarters program was in full swing, excitement was already high across the country. By the time New York was honored, the program had become a cultural phenomenon. Millions of Americans were checking their change, filling albums, and rediscovering the thrill of coin collecting. New York's quarter stood out immediately, not just because of its history, but because of its bold and instantly recognizable design. The reverse of the coin proudly displays an outline of the state of New York, with a clear emphasis on its powerful position along the eastern seaboard. A star marks the location of the state capital, while the words "Gateway to Freedom" echo New York's long legacy as the entry point for millions of immigrants seeking opportunity and a new life. From Ellis Island to the towering skyline of Manhattan, this coin captures ambition, resilience, and influence in a single image. At first glance, the New York quarter appears common. After all, millions were minted and released into circulation. But seasoned collectors know that true value often hides in subtle imperfections. Within this massive production run, a very small number of coins emerged with rare and dramatic minting errors that transformed them into highly sought-after treasures. One of the most desirable errors found on some New York quarters is the off-center strike. In these cases, the design is shifted away from its proper position, creating an unbalanced and visually striking appearance. There are also double die varieties, where parts of the lettering, the state outline, or even the stars show clear doubling caused by a misaligned die during production. These details may seem minor to the untrained eye, but to collectors, they are unmistakable signs of rarity. Even more fascinating are coins with die cracks and cut errors. These occur when the minting die begins to break down, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the finished coin. Each one is unique, making these error quarters impossible to duplicate. Wrong planchet errors have also been discovered, where the coin was struck on metal intended for another denomination, resulting in unusual weight, color, and thickness that immediately catch attention. Condition is everything in the world of high-value coins. A New York quarter that escaped circulation, preserved with sharp details, strong mint luster, and no wear, is already desirable. Combine that pristine condition with a major mint error, and the coin becomes a true prize. These are the pieces that collectors compete for, the ones that rarely appear and never stay available for long. What makes this coin especially exciting for collectors is its connection to a turning point in modern numismatics. The state quarters program brought coin collecting back into everyday life, and New York's issue symbolizes ambition and opportunity, values that resonate deeply with collectors around the world. It reminds us that history, art, and chance can come together in the smallest of objects. That if you love coins, this is one of those stories you listen to closely. Somewhere, tucked away in a jar, a drawer, or an old roll of quarters, a rare New York State quarter may still be waiting to be discovered. It stands as proof that even the most ordinary-looking coin can carry extraordinary value. And now comes the moment that truly captures attention. A rare error example of the 2001 New York State quarter dollar, preserved in exceptional condition, has been valued at $89,000. Top 3, we're diving into one of the most visually striking and surprisingly fascinating pieces from the State Quarters series, the United States of America Utah State Quarter Dollar, released in 2007. By the time Utah's quarter entered circulation, the State Quarters program had already captured the imagination of millions. Coin folders were filling up, rolls of quarters were being searched at kitchen tables, and collectors young and old were paying attention again. Utah's design arrived late in the program, but it made a powerful impression the moment it appeared. The reverse design is both simple and deeply symbolic. It features the iconic delicate arch standing tall against a rugged landscape, accompanied by the phrase "Crossroads of the West." This image reflects Utah's dramatic natural beauty and its historical role as a meeting point for explorers, settlers, and cultures moving across the American frontier. The arch itself feels timeless, almost sculptural, and when struck sharply, the details can be breathtaking. At first, the Utah quarter seems common. Millions were produced, and most were spent, scratched, and worn through daily use. But experienced collectors know that true rarity doesn't always come from low mintage. It often comes from mistakes, moments when the minting process didn't go exactly as planned. And within the massive production of Utah quarters, a tiny number emerged with remarkable errors. Some examples were struck off-center, leaving part of the design shifted dramatically and creating an unbalanced look that immediately signals something unusual. Others display double die errors, where parts of the lettering, the date, or the contours of the arch appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. These are not damages from circulation, but genuine minting flaws that occurred at the very start of the coin's life. Even more intriguing are die crack and cut errors. As minting dies wear down or fracture, they can leave raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Each of these errors is completely unique, meaning no two coins are ever exactly the same. Wrong planchet errors are also known, where the Utah quarter was struck on metal intended for a different denomination, resulting in unexpected weight, color, or thickness that stands out immediately to trained eyes. Condition elevates everything. A Utah quarter that never circulated, one that still gleams with original mint luster and crisp details, is already desirable. When that pristine condition is paired with a major error, the coin crosses into an entirely different category. These are the pieces that collectors dream about, the ones that spark bidding wars and intense competition. What makes this coin especially appealing is how it blends modern history with natural beauty and chance. It reminds collectors that even in a highly automated era, the human and mechanical elements of minting can still produce rare surprises. For coin lovers, this is the kind of story you listen to carefully because it encourages you to look twice at every coin you find. Somewhere out there, a Utah State quarter sits quietly, unrecognized, holding a story of rarity, craftsmanship, and unexpected value. It proves that even a coin from recent history can rise far beyond its face value when the right combination of error, condition, and demand comes together. And here is the moment that truly captures attention. A rare error example of the 2007 Utah State quarter dollar, preserved in exceptional condition, has been valued at $86,000. We are talking about a coin that many people have held, but very few truly understand. The United States of America California State quarter dollar, released in 2005. By the time California's quarter was issued, the state quarters program was already one of the most successful coin initiatives in U.S. history. Millions of Americans were actively searching their change, completing collections, and learning the stories behind each design. California's entry into the series carried enormous expectations, and the final result did not disappoint. The reverse design of the California quarter is rich with symbolism. At the center stands the iconic image of naturalist John Muir, a man whose passion helped preserve America's wilderness for future generations. Behind him rises the dramatic face of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park, a symbol of strength, endurance, and natural beauty. Above it all, the majestic California condor spreads its wings, representing conservation, survival, and renewal. This is not just a coin. It is a tribute to nature, exploration, and vision. On the surface, the California quarter appears common. Millions were minted and released into circulation, and most were used daily, gaining scratches and wear over time. But experienced collectors know that value is often hidden beneath familiarity. Within this vast production, a very small number of coins emerged with rare minting errors that transformed them into exceptional collectibles. Some California quarters were struck off-center, causing the design to shift dramatically and leaving blank areas that instantly catch the eye. Others exhibit doubled die errors, where elements like the lettering, John Muir's profile, or the condor's wings appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. These details are subtle yet powerful indicators of rarity. There are also examples with die cracks and cut errors, where damage to the minting die creates raised lines or unusual metal formations on the coin. Each of these errors is completely unique, meaning no two coins are ever exactly alike. Wrong planchet errors have been discovered as well, where the quarter was struck on metal intended for another denomination, resulting in unusual color, weight, and thickness that immediately signals something extraordinary. Condition plays a crucial role in determining worth. A California quarter that never entered circulation, preserved with sharp details and original mint luster, is already desirable to collectors. When such a coin also carries a major mint error, its appeal increases dramatically. These are the pieces that command attention, spark competition, and become centerpieces in advanced collections. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only because of its potential value, but because of what it represents. California symbolizes innovation, opportunity, and natural wonder. The coin connects modern collectors to the ideals of preservation and exploration, while also reminding them that rarity can still emerge from modern minting processes. For coin lovers, this is the kind of story you listen to very carefully. It encourages you to slow down, examine every detail, and never assume a coin is ordinary just because it looks familiar. Somewhere, in a jar, a drawer, or an old roll of quarters, a rare California state quarter may still be waiting to be discovered. And now for the moment that truly captures attention. A rare error example of the 2005 California state quarter dollar, preserved in exceptional condition, has been valued at $83,000. Top 5. Think about how many quarters pass through your hands without a second glance. They travel through pockets, jars, and cash registers, quietly telling stories most people never stop to hear. Today's story is about one of those overlooked pieces, a coin that represents resilience, exploration, and hidden surprises. This is the United States of America Nebraska state quarter dollar released in 2006. But when the state quarters program reached Nebraska, the series had already become a nationwide habit. People across the country were actively searching their change, filling albums, and learning American history one coin at a time. Nebraska's quarter may not have arrived with loud fanfare, but its design and hidden rarity make it one of the most intriguing coins of the entire program. The reverse design captures a powerful moment from America's westward journey. It features Chimney Rock, one of the most famous landmarks along the Oregon Trail. For pioneers traveling west in the 19th century, this towering rock formation was a symbol of hope and progress, a sign that they were moving closer to new beginnings. Surrounding the image are references to Nebraska's role as a crossroads of migration, exploration, and settlement. When struck with sharp detail, the scene feels almost cinematic, frozen in metal. At first glance, the Nebraska quarter seems ordinary. Millions were produced, and most were used daily in circulation, picking up scratches and wear over time. But experienced collectors know that rarity often hides within mass production. The true excitement begins when you look closely at the small number of Nebraska quarters that left the mint with unusual characteristics. Some of the most desirable examples show off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, creating an uneven and dramatic appearance. Others feature double die errors, where the lettering, date, or elements of Chimney Rock appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. These are not signs of damage, but genuine minting errors that occurred before the coin ever reached the public. Even more fascinating are die crack and cut errors. As minting dies wear down or fracture, they can leave raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Each of these errors is completely unique, making them especially attractive to collectors who value one-of-a-kind pieces. Wrong planchet errors have also been discovered, where the Nebraska quarter was struck on metal intended for a different denomination. These coins often stand out immediately due to differences in color, thickness, or weight. Condition elevates everything in the world of coin collecting. A Nebraska quarter that never circulated, still glowing with original mint luster and crisp details, is already desirable. When that pristine condition is combined with a major mint error, the coin becomes something truly special. These are the examples that advanced collectors search for, the ones that rarely appear and generate intense excitement when they do. What makes this coin especially meaningful to collectors is its connection to perseverance and movement. Nebraska's design honors the spirit of those who cross the plains in search of opportunity, and the coin itself mirrors that journey by traveling unnoticed through modern life. It reminds collectors that history and rarity are not always loud or obvious. Sometimes they sit quietly in plain sight. For coin lovers, this is the kind of story you listen to very carefully. It encourages patience, attention to detail, and curiosity. Somewhere, in a forgotten roll of change or an old collection, a rare Nebraska state quarter may still be waiting to be recognized for what it truly is. And now comes the part that captures everyone's attention. A rare error example of the 2006 Nebraska state quarter dollar, preserved in exceptional condition, has been valued at $80,000. If you enjoyed this video and love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin story or hidden treasure from your pocket change. Your support helps the channel grow, and it keeps more amazing coin discoveries coming your way. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!